Selamat sore Jakarta. I'm super excited today to talk about how traditional companies across the world becoming technology companies, using APIs, delivering connected experiences, and accelerating their business. Myself, Anil Sagar, sales engineer from Google, part of APIgee team. APIgee is the intelligent API management platform from Google. Traditional companies becoming technology companies just like Google. How? How are they doing it? APIs. Who are these companies becoming technology companies from the traditional world? These companies are across the industries. A traditional bank is becoming a technology company. A brick-and-mortar retail store that you see in the street is becoming an e-commerce technology company. An insurance company is becoming a technology company. These are the few customers who use APIgee platform to deliver their data and services, APIs, securely to their partners, to their internal applications, to the new kind of devices that Miti is talking about. We have worked with these companies from last few years, precisely 14 years. We learned a lot about API management working with these companies. We built full API lifecycle capabilities. API management is not about API gateway. API management is about how you solve your business problems. Today, how many of you use Google Maps app? Almost every one of us use Google Maps app, right? But how does Google Maps make money? Anybody thought? APIs. Just like Google Maps is exposing these APIs that is consumed by Gojek, Uber, Grab, the companies, the traditional companies are exposing their data and asset as an APIs and finding new business revenue channels. The capabilities that we built is applauded by the analysts. Recently, Gartner positioned APIgee as a leader in the API management space. Just not the leader. We are the absolute leader, highest in terms of execution, farthest in terms of vision. What is the big deal? Why are these companies using APIgee? Why are analysts rating APIgee on top of the charts? Because APIs will drive the evolution of business. It's not about integration. It's about taking your business to the new fronts. Miti is talking about Vision API. Miti is talking about the MLs and APIs. Similar way, how can you take your data and services and integrate with Google Home, and integrate with other businesses? We see three patterns when it comes to this business evolution, how these companies are using APIs to transform the way they do business. The first pattern is about IT modernization and digital transformation. You're using machine learning, you're using Google Dialogflow, but how can you connect to your data and systems so that tomorrow, can you talk to your bank and do transaction instead of using a mobile app? Can you talk to Google Home that talks to your insurance company? Can you able to renew your insurance? Can you talk to Google Home and order a product on your e-commerce store? The second pattern that we see is increasing digital connections and expanding enterprise boundaries. Can your company go and talk to cross industries? Today, you're a bank. You want to go partner with e-commerce players. You want to go partner with insurance players. How can you do that? How can you expose your services to these players? And finally, creating ecosystems and joining ecosystems. Creating an ecosystem is always hard. It's not easy to get developer base to use your APIs. Can you go and participate in other ecosystem? Can you expose your data and services as an APIs? Let's see real-world examples, how these patterns are used by companies across the world. PwC. Who haven't heard about PwC? No hands. They are a tax consultancy company. Traditionally, they offer people as a service to do tax auditing and accounting. Today, they're a technology company. They had access to huge data patterns. Now, they use those data patterns. They're using ML. They built a cash flow ML API that they're providing to the enterprises, using which enterprises can able to optimize their cash flows. From a traditional services company, they grown to a technology company offering the ML based on the existing data as a service through API. They can able to do it 30% faster. They can able to reduce their DevOps time by 20%. APIgee helped them. It's just not about APIgee. They're using Google Cloud. They're using machine learning to analyze that cash flow data. They're using Google App Engine that talks to the backend system through APIgee Edge API management platform. AccuWeather. Anyone heard about them? Today, you go to Google search for weather in Jakarta. One of the first results that you see in AccuWeather. They're not only just exposing the weather information in their mobile app or in their website. They expose to media channels. They expose to various third-party apps. They use APIgee Developer Portal to publish their API documentation, to onboard their partners. They were able to get 24,000 developers into their platform who are building applications for them, integrating with different businesses. These 24,000 developers built 11,000 applications for AccuWeather. They get, today, 35 million API calls every day. Each API call is bringing dollars to AccuWeather. How? They're monetizing their APIs, just like Google Maps. How does Google Maps get money? Through Google Maps API. When a Gojek calls Google Maps API to find a distance between 2 points, Google charges Gojek. Similarly, can your company do that? Can your company expose the APIs and make money out of APIs? APIgee makes it possible. Interesting story about Magazineloser. Just like Bukalapak, an e-commerce player in Indonesia. But they're a little bit different. They haven't came from technology background. Magazineloser is a brick-and-mortar retail store in the street that you see. They're not a technology company a few years ago. Their stock was dropping because of the e-commerce competition. Now, they are able to successfully fend off Amazon in one of the fastest growing Brazilian market. They are the biggest e-commerce player in Brazil today. How they can able to do it? APIs. They started with 35,000 SKU products. Today, they have 1.5 million SKU products. 2,000 merchants are selling their products on Magazineloser platform. It's just not about that. The e-commerce platform that they built, they're exposing the entire platform as an APIs so that the merchants can have their own store, online store. They were able to successfully connect the demand supply chain. They partnered with 3 banks. They're using banks' payment APIs. They partnered with telcos, where they're leveraging telco services. Through APIs again. Their stock has skyrocketed 13,000% in the last few years. A traditional company, a traditional brick-and-mortar retail chain, have no presence online few years back. They were able to do it and expose their services, their API, their products, just not only on their website, to Facebook, to mobile, to phone. You can make a phone call and purchase a product powered by API. So what are the capabilities these companies are leveraging? What APIgee platform provides for you? So let's take a look at the technology stack of APIgee platform. So we sit in between your clients and your backend systems. Your backend systems can be legacy. Your backend systems can be microservices. Your clients can be new kind of applications like Google Home. Or you want to onboard your partners into your ecosystem, just like Google does it today. How different people consume Google APIs. Can you do the same? Traditionally, people think that API management is API gateway. Let me have API gateway in front of my backend systems. Let me expose my APIs. My job is done. That's what IT teams are thinking about it. But that's not solving the actual business problem. The business problem is this side. How do I package my APIs differently for different teams? How can I expose my APIs to different partners? Can I able to make money out of APIs? Can I build a new app where my customers can able to talk to my business through Google Home? For example, a credit reporting agency in US, Experian, they're APIgee customer. Today, US customers can talk to Google Home, get to know what is their credit score, powered by APIs. Security is enforced by APIgee Edge API management platform. Mediation, talking to Dialogflow, is done by APIgee Edge API management platform. So what do we offer? Primarily 4 categories. API runtime, which includes gateway. How many of you heard about Istio? Hands? Istio is the next big wave that is coming to the industry, just like Kubernetes. That's a platform to manage, secure, connect your microservices. Every microservice is an API. How do you publish API documentation? How do you do enforce security like OAuth? APIgee helps you do that. The second is mediation engine. As an enterprise, you have different systems built different periods of time, different security models. It's not easy to expose them. Almost all the data is sitting inside the Great Walls of China called firewalls. How do you expose them to your partners? Can you transform existing legacy SOAP-based XML services to new JSON services? So APIgee helps you do the mediation. Can you talk to the Vision API? Can you take your data, combine it, make it as a new API? Can you do orchestration? APIgee platform helps you do that. Great, you built APIs, you secured APIs, you are exposing it. Your CTO would like to understand which partner is bringing more traffic to me. Which services are they accessing? Where do I need to invest next quarter? Can your DevOps team find out before even an app goes down? APIgee provides analytics and intelligent contextual monitoring for your APIs. And importantly, developer ecosystem. Today, there is a developer.google.com where you can find Vision API, where you can find speech-to-text API, where you can find Google Maps API. How about for your company, for your services? Don't you want to have a developer portal where you want to onboard your partners without any friction? Don't you want to monetize your APIs and publish the API packages in developer portal where your partners can buy and bring revenue to you? We provide developer portal where you can publish API documentation, onboard developers, publish APIs as a products that has a price tag associated with it so that you can able to make money directly from the developer portal. What are we doing inside the Google Cloud? We are part of Google Cloud. You are using Google Cloud. You are using Google Cloud Machine Learning. You are building your backend systems in Google Cloud. Now you want to expose them to a Google Home app or your partner. We help you connect to different systems. We help you secure your APIs and services using the same security that Google uses, OAuth. We scale to billions of API calls. On an average day, APIgee handles more than 3 billion requests on cloud with finance of availability. And we provide the connectors directly to talk to all the existing Google features. So that, let's say you are using big data, you are doing some analysis. Now you want to connect that to Google Home without writing single line of code. We help you do that. Technology is great. You have seen the stories. But you need a strategy to drive your API program, to convince everyone in the company. Just like you are going to an adventure, you need a tool like Compass, right, which can help you point into the right direction. We built a tool that will help you do that. What does this tool will do? Your CEO is thinking about network effects. Your CEO is thinking about onboarding new partners. Your CEO is thinking about digital transformation. Your CTO is thinking about modernization, moving from monoliths to microservices, using the latest, greatest technologies. But there is an operational gap. How do you bring everyone on board? What is the key performance indicators? So using APIgee Tool, you can able to find actionable results that can help you in your API program. Again, it will set a baseline. It will give you a digital score. Where does your company stand in the digital transformation? And the steps that can help you put in the right direction. So it gives the 3 dimensions. Vision. Are you thinking about transformation, business transformation, or IT modernization? What is your ecosystem strategy? Do you want to go integrate with other people in other ecosystems? Are you thinking APIs just as an integration between your mobile app website to the backend? Or are you thinking as a strategic products that you can take it to different business teams? Alignment. Who is leading your API program? From where it is coming? Is it the IT team? Is it the business team? How are you measuring the impact of API program? Is it number of API calls? Is it the partner onboarding time? Is it the number of partners you want to onboard your platform? Just like AccuWeather, who onboarded 24,000 developers and hundreds of companies into their platform. Great, you have a vision and alignment. What about the execution? Do you have the right team? And can your developers access your APIs within 5 minutes? So using this tool, you can find actionable results that will help your API program. Let's understand directly from the leading bank in the region how they are becoming technology company. It's a privilege to work with Bank BRI. Let me invite Pak Reja Satria, who is the head of Digital Center of Excellence in BRI Bank. Please give him a big round of applause. Welcome.
Thank you. Okay, selamat sore semuanya. Selamat sore. Thank you for having me here. Today I'm going to talk about the digital initiative in Bank BRI. That we have been really working hard in 2018. And if you don't know about the BRI, I will let you know. We are one of the biggest banks in Indonesia. Our market cap is about 34 billion US dollar. That is just in February 2018. And our assets is around $83 billion in just last year. And then our net profit last year, as you know it, is around $2 billion. And not only that, we have a lot of branches across Indonesia, starting from Sabang to Merauke, from West Indonesia to East Indonesia. If you count it, it will be around like 10,000 branches. And not only that, we also have a mobile agent. The mobile agent is very, very huge. You know, we are also, I think, competitor of Gojek of doing the mobile agents. We have around 29,000 people for mobile agents. And you know that our ATM is also the biggest in Indonesia. It's around 24,000 ATMs. Having said that, we are now facing a great rise in rising of fintech in the financial industry. As you know that there have been like a market disruption in the financial industry, especially for the bank, it really impacts us. You know, I don't consider this, it's not impacting us, but it is impacting us indirectly, you know. I've been looking for the 4 areas. It is the payment, lending, and the conversion, and also the personal finance. If you notice that today's, what you try to lend the money is maybe not from the bank, but you get the money from the fintech. Let's say that from Amarta, or maybe from Uang Teman. You know why? Because it's really fast to get the money from them. It's just a matter of days, you know. But in comparison with us, you may need to fill up the paperwork that is endless time, and later, you know, it will take like maybe a month or maybe 2 months. But after that, you see that is a long-waited process. If you try to get maybe a KTA or, you know, a business without, you know, agunan. And for the payment perspective, in Indonesia, we do have a Gojek. You know that the GoPay is actually a challenge for us because they're starting doing the payment industry, which is taking our market share eventually. And also, you know that we have like other competitors like, you know, like Kartuku and maybe Ferrytrans for the payment gateway, and also for the personal finance, as you know it, that you have, we have actually competitors like Journal and Jodonomics. But we need to work with those competitors in the end, especially with considering the new technology developments in AI, big data, and blockchain, and even the cloud itself. Okay, so BRI is actually doing the digitalization, starting from the legacy, the old-based paper, and also it's very complex process, and it's like a long process. And now, in 2018, we have 2 products in internal BRI. First is My BRI, and the second is BRI Spot or BRI-Spot. The My BRI is to help our agent in the field to operate with a mortgage, while the BRI-Spot is for the micro bank or micro lending. But what are the resources? The resources that we see that there are like 30% to 40% increase in our sales productivity, and 80% mortgage for microloans under, you know, with less than 2 days approval. So this is how do we actually integrate with the partners that you know, that we need to deal with every one of them. Is different, you know, project or business model for one of them. As you know that we have like the open API in the middle, and we have the parties like our legacy backend system that connects to the open API, and also the third-party developers or maybe the fintech developers and the mobile web applications. And by that side, the insight is that we can widen our product offering, which is we also can monetize our API. And with APIgee, we can see that this is as of digital value chain inside the BRI. So let's say the customers will connect to the phone apps of like Tokopedia, Bukalapak, Zalora, and any other marketplaces. And in the middle, you see that they will connect with us with APIgee or BRI API. And then in the back end, the Bank BRI, we can actually expose the e-government and maybe pay solution, or e-wallet, and also our credit scoring. So as a conclusion, we can actually say that this is much more easier to collaborate with third party or with our partners compared with using the APIgee. So let's talk about the Brilliant engine because this is very special to us. It will help our digital transformation, and especially, you know, that considering that there are a lot of agent building across the country. So how do we actually find the best agent building for our specific customers? That's why I think we can find it. Also, we can consume the Google Map API to actually find the nearest agent building at the certain cities, something like that. Okay, I think for conclusion, years ago we consider ourselves, you know, just like a bank, you know, with a lot of like regulations, you know, as you know that we are like state-owned company bank, and I think today we can consider ourselves as a bank, as an ID company with a bank license, and there are like two quotes for me that is taken from Brad King and Michael Corbett. Banking is no longer somewhere you go, it's something you do, and we see ourselves as a technology company with a bank license. I think that's it for me. Thank you. Yeah.
So you heard about the customer story of BRI Bank, right? You heard about how a traditional bank is becoming a technology company. So we would like to open up for questions. If you have any, happy to answer them. Any questions in the audience? Again, you can learn more about APIgee in apigee.com, right? And keep us posted. Thank you so much.